Hi everyone. Today we have yet another successful alumnus of IPSR along with us. He completed his MSc in Engineering and Management in the UK and later joined IPSR for RHCE course to fulfill his dream of building a career in the IT industry. Currently, he's working at SCALEIOS as a cloud engineer. Let us welcome Sreehari to know more about his successful career growth. Hi Sreehari, welcome to IPSR Cast.
Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Nice to meet you.
We are so excited to listen to you. So let's get started. Can you talk a bit about your journey towards learning Linux?
Yeah, I think there comes the self-introductory part. Okay. Basically, I'm an electronics and communication engineer. I have studied in Coimbatore and have been graduated since 2014. I had a lot of back papers. So after my graduation, I had left to Bangalore. I have been working there as a project coordinator. Parallelly, I was working on my papers, and within 1.5 years, I completed the same. And within 2 years, I left the field. So I thought of pursuing for the MBA, and I joined for the CAT coaching in Toronto. But I failed miserably for them because I was not able to appear the exam due to some health issues. So I was in a bit of confusion. Should I gamble one more year for the CAT, or should I do something else? And this MSc program came to my mind, and I applied for a university in UK and done my MSc in Engineering Management there. While I was studying there, as you all know, the COVID struck, and I was forced to come back and complete my MSc from here. And all the flights got cancelled, my visa got expired, and I was unable to go back. So I was a little bit depressed, and I was doing some supplementary courses for the same PG course I have done. Later, I started applying for some jobs, and I didn't even got a response from them. So everything was a mess. And after that, one day, one of my friends called me, and he convinced me on going back to the IT field. Also, I was getting fond of Linux that time because I had a module named MIS, Management of Information System, in my PG. So I was getting somewhat interested in the cloud and that kind of job. So I thought, why not go back and do the same? So that was the first step where I had reached to Linux.
So, throughout all these challenging years, when did you realize that you need to develop your technical skills?
Very well. As I said before, I started applying for jobs, and none of them responded. And I thought of going back to technical as I said before, yes, yeah. But nowadays the corporate world is the competition is becoming very high, and the involvement of AI, the artificial intelligence, is more nowadays. Everything is becoming automated, and so and companies are not looking for a person with pure management background. They doesn't want a person like that. They are looking for a person with some technical knowledge and obviously the management background to be in a manager position. Moreover, I guess if you don't want to do a manager job in the future, uh, then that's the end of the story. Then you have to put effort and a lot to study or build up something else. But what if you have some technical skill with you and go for that? Then definitely it will be just like at some pace you could build up things fast rather than going for some manager job or searching for anything else. So there are two multiple options like backup, the technical skill. Also, I think everyone should be skilled in some technical. I am not demanding it should be an IT firm, but something technical should be there for a person to live anywhere. I guess that's my personal opinion on that. That's it.
I agree with that. And how did you hear about IPSR and the Red Hat Linux course?
Very well. When I was searching for the job after my MSc, one of my friend told me, and he asked, bro, what are you doing now? And I said, I am seeking for some job and well, I'm not getting anything. So he told some of the success stories of IPSR. Like his close friends were in IPSR. So they were trying for a job and they joined IPSR, and within 3 or 4 months they got placed. And I was wondering why I hadn't heard about IPSR before. So I started browsing extensively about IPSR and came to know about these persons, and I communicated with them privately. And everyone's opinion was very much positive to me. So I called to IPSR and asked for the courses they have, and obviously the next course was there. And I have been connected with Mrs. Benla Mendes. She's one of the top level administrators, and she convinced me that if I joined the course, definitely I'd be placed, or definitely I could do something in the IT industry. So that was the part where I was exposed to the IPSR tool.
Okay, so you joined as an ITFS student, that is IT finishing school student. And after starting the course, what did you feel? Like, how was your experience with IPSR?
Yeah. First of all, on the first days, I was a little confused because I was being exposed to new thing and new field. Even though I know something about Linux, but I was not having much knowledge about that. So the first 3 or 4 days was difficult. So I contacted my mentor personally and I told, I guess I can do that. And she told me, like, yeah, I hear that response from everyone in every batch. So you don't need to worry. We will pick you up. We will give you backup. You can ask any dumb questions if you want through mail or WhatsApp group or personally you can contact me. There will be someone to help you 24/7. That that had given me a lot of confidence. So I started uh, the course, and uh, then I reached the ITFS level. That means after the course we have some lab sections, and everything was going fine. And I understood that I was getting refined or tuned very much. I was very good, getting very much good in this.
So, how did you land on your first job? Did IPSR's placement support and orientation programs benefit you?
Yeah, well, as I told you before, I had applied for some of the jobs after my master's. Um, After doing 4 months course in IPSR, I had uh, I had been to the ITFS training session where we'll be given real-time experience of some IT industries and some tasks will be given, just like how you work in a company. So I was doing that pretty much well, and they told me to start applying for jobs. And after that, I have been started applying in LinkedIn, and some responses were coming, like in the Linux space scenario. So I was happy because at least somebody is responding to me. Then what happened is IPSR itself brought me some interviews, just like that. So, but I was not much ready for that, as I thought 4 months of studying Linux is not much enough for me to perform well and get a good job. Uh, then one of the IPSR administrator, Mrs. Anisha, called me and asked about my background details. And then she told there would be a mock interview and asked, why are you not applying for the interviews which have been given by us? And I told I was not confident. So because of the past bad experience of not getting responded or being rejected, I was not much confident. So what she told was like, okay, Sreehari, I know you are not confident, but we are much confident that you will get a job. That's why we had uh, put a nameplate like 100% placement here. So no matter how much interview you attend, definitely you will be placed. We will make that sure. That was giving me much confidence about to apply for some jobs. And after that, I applied for the first job and I got rejected in
Wow.
the interview. Yeah. So the technical session was like sort of, and I was not even able to answer more than 30%. And I called back IPSR again and told this is not going to work out and these are things. So they told me to revise the questions. understand where are the flaws you are facing, and attend the next interview. That's okay. We will bring you n number of interviews. You don't want to worry about it. And even if you get placed in a company and if you don't like that, definitely we will give you another company. So I was like, okay, that's a good deal. And the second interview came, and I was so much confident. I had thoroughly studied well, and I attended. And the second interview was technical, and I got rejected. And the third one came, and it was very good. I have responded to around 70% of the questions, and I was passed. Yeah, and I'm working there now, right now. It's a very good company. Everything was nice. So I got a lot of support from my PSR. That's what I will never forget about my IPSR experience. That's what they have been helping me out, and they have been giving me a lot of confidence. And yeah, they know how I was more than me.
So, how was your career progression after that?
I was placed 6 months ago, and I'm still working there as a cloud engineer. And a lot of challenging things are coming up, and I've been doing a lot. So within that 6 months, I got a lot of experience. I guess so. I know I am being much into the cloud, and I know hell a lot of more than what I was. So that's a pretty good progress, I guess.
Yeah, it is. So, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Maybe I'll be a team lead of my own company or some other MNC, I guess, or maybe I'll go abroad. I'm thinking of that with my experience from here, maybe around 1 or 2 years. That's what I'm planning of now. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I'll be in cloud industry.
Definitely, definitely. So, overall, what do you think about building a career in this domain?
I think if one need to build a career in this domain, they should be fascinated about this. They should be dedicated, and they should know something. I'm working in the cloud field, so they should know about the networking part. And I think I'm not recommending Linux in this part, because if one needs to know cloud, there doesn't need to know Linux. But if one knows much about the Linux, then he or she will be pretty much. It will be more easy for them to be in the cloud concepts. I'm pretty sure about it. Knowing Linux or being a system admin for 1 year, or it will help them a lot to understand the concept and build a career more than the one who is a fresher in the cloud.
So,
my point, my personal. Yeah, please.
Okay, so what's your advice to other students who would like to get into cloud, DevOps, or related domains?
Yeah, just like I said before, they should know what they are doing, like what they are focusing on, and they should know a lot more about the networking concepts and how the cloud works actually, and what are the new opportunities in cloud, and how to become a cloud engineer means they have to know. I think almost every part of this administration section they should be they should know about. I guess so.
Okay,
Yeah.
so thank you so much, Sreehari, for your valuable time. Your story will definitely be an inspiration for many out there. Thank you.
I hope so. Thank you so much for this.
Our motive is to share inspirational stories of our students who have made the impossible possible through IPSR. Are you confused about what to choose as the next step towards your career? We would love to help you achieve outcomes like this. Contact us, and our educational counselors will help you out. If you have any IT related doubts, you may comment below so that we can help you answer those questions in our IPSR Cast series. I will leave the link of the IPSR Cast playlist in the description as well. So, see you in the next video of IPSR Cast. Thank you and have a great day.